Hey, so as some of you know, it was my birthday over the weekend, and I had a wonderful birthday party. I also got asked the inevitable birthday question of, do you feel older? And for once in my life, the answer was actually yes. Not just because I actually feel physically older, but because I actually for once do feel more grown up. I actually feel like I've learned some very valuable life lessons and I've grown as a person. So I thought it would be interesting to do a video called 5 Signs That You're Growing Up. Now, I should clarify, these are not the only 5 signs, but they are 5 signs that I personally think are very important. So let's get started. Sign number 1. You learn who your real friends are. See, when we're young, we tend to try to become friends with everyone that we meet. And for the most part, that's actually a good thing. But our real friends are the people that we can send a completely vague text filled with typos to, and they understand not only what we meant, but how we meant it. Because they get us. They know us. These people don't get upset when we don't get back to them immediately. They don't assume that we suddenly hate them because we didn't reply within 5 minutes. They assume we must have been busy and that we'll get back because they know that we care. And when we start realizing who our good friends really are, they very quickly become our favorite friends. Because at the end of the day, they can also send us a vague text message and we'll know what they mean and how they mean it. They might not get back to us and we'll know that they still care, they were just busy. And at the end of the day, we get them too. And while when we're younger, we tend to really want people to get us, when we get older and we've met enough people who don't get us, who flat out don't, we put the effort in and they just, nope. We start to really, really value the people who do get us, and we love them for it. And that is sign number 1. Sign number 2 is a little heavy, but we stop blaming ourselves for everything. When I was 13 years old and my girlfriend at the time was suffering from mental health issues and she wanted to kill herself, I blamed myself. When my parents would fight growing up, I blamed myself. When my friends would fall into heavy drugs and meaningless sex, I blamed myself. And I have made a lot of mistakes over my life, and I have given a lot of unwanted advice. But I did most of those things out of love, and I do not blame myself for that anymore. I respect myself for caring that much, for caring enough that I would take other people's problems on as my own. And I have learned that there are some people who deserve it, some people who don't, but at the end of the day, it is not something to hate myself over. Knowing what you're actually responsible for and what you're not is sign number 2. Sign number 3 is an interesting one for me because it relates to me starting this YouTube channel. When we're younger, we tend to want to fit in and we tend to want to make everybody like us. As we get older, we realize that not everyone is going to like us, and that's really kind of okay. We start caring more about being true to who we are than about who other people are going to misinterpret that person as. And since we already know about sign number 1, we also know that the people who really matter will get it and will know who we are and will love us for that the same way that we love them for who they are. So we stop being afraid of expressing ourselves and of talking about what's on our minds and how we feel and what we think about life. We start actually enjoying doing that. So sign number 3 is that we start being true to ourselves no matter what. Sign number 4 is also a little bit heavy, but we start forgiving like there's no tomorrow. We have all been taken advantage of and taken for granted and treated like shit, and when we're younger, it really hurts us. It really upsets us. But as we get older, we start seeing that, shit, we've done that before too, to some people. We start seeing that people are making mistakes we ourselves have made. We start empathizing with them, and we start letting it go. We start realizing that life is full of good things and full of bad things, and the truth is, you choose which one you think about. You choose which one you devote your energy to. And as we grow up, we start devoting our energy to the good stuff, and we let the bad stuff go. And that isn't to say that we think it's okay that people treat us that way. It isn't to say that we suddenly think that their decisions are correct. It just means that we forgive them for them. We let it go. We move on and we continue our lives. In learning to forgive others, we also learn to forgive ourselves. And that is a very powerful thing, because it ties into sign number 2, of we stop blaming ourselves. We also start forgiving ourselves, because we do make mistakes and we do say things we shouldn't have said. But just like we can forgive someone else when they make those mistakes, we learn to forgive ourselves and let it go and move on to bigger and better things. So sign number 4 is that we start forgiving ourselves the people around us, everyone. We let the small stuff go. Sign number 5 is a pretty damn big one. We start to look at humanity as a species. We start to look at our world as something that is making progress. And because of that, we start to see the beauty in that progress. And even though bad things still happen, we see how far civilization has come. And we get over political arguments and we start having political discussions. We get over debating and we start brainstorming and we start thinking about, okay, what is right for the world? And for me personally, I actually do believe that one day humanity is going to learn to be happy with itself. I don't know if I'll be around to see that day, but I will do everything in my power during my life to help that happen. Because that is what a real grown-up truly cares about. Leaving this world just a little bit better than we found it. And those are my 5 signs that you're growing up. Now, I actually do have 5 more. In fact, I have hundreds more. But if this video gets to 500 views, I'll make a sequel to it and I'll talk about 5 more signs that you're growing up. But only if enough people like this video. So give it a thumbs up, comment down below, and let me know of any defining moments in your own life that made you feel like, okay, I'm growing up a little bit here. I'm learning something. I see the world a little differently. And let me know in the comment section if any of these 5 signs meant something to you. If it stood out and you're like, yes, that is what I've been trying to say. Let me know, because I would really love to hear it. I am very fortunate and I have some truly wonderful people in my life. But I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear, what you guys think about life and what you think about growing up. So let me know in the comment section. I'll see you down there. And whether this video actually gets to 500 views or not, I'll continue to make other videos in the meantime. But let's see what happens. Anyway, that's all I have for today. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.